Okay, let's start this video. Today's video, someone asked me about getting children's book representation, an agent of some sort. We're not going to cover that whole beast today. However, it got me thinking I'd want to make a video because I am updating my personal children's book illustration portfolio online. And so I'm going to make a video about that, and I'm just going to record and show you some of the processes I go through. I may not go through all the processes, but the base art and stuff like that. And in and amongst all that, I will ramble about my experiences. I am not a prolific children's book illustrator or author at this point, but I did illustrate The Outdoor Scientist by Temple Grandin. And I also had the opportunity to illustrate a Mayim Bialik book called Boying Up, about coming of age, not fiction, like just a regular book about, opens up kids and their understanding of when they're going through puberty. In other words, that's what it boils down to. But let's dive right into it. I'm going to, like I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be painting a bunch of just new art that then I will hopefully drop it into Photoshop and prepare it and edit it for my personal children's book portfolio or children's editorial portfolio. Okay, with that, let's get some music going and get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, spoiler alert, stick around or scrub to the end to see how everything I paint today gets digitally transformed into portfolio style or whatever. Yeah, check that out at the end. Okay, to be honest with you, I don't really have any ideas right now. That's what that's the beauty of work and life. I've found that when I sit around and try to come up with good ideas, they just creates more stress in my life. So I'm just gonna riff off the past 2 years, what I've been working on, some ideas, and see what ideas lead to others. I've been doing a lot of astronaut themed stuff. So don't just think I'm lazy. And so I think it'd be fun to have an astronaut themed children's book portfolio piece. And I'm gonna try to keep it super simple because I want these images to tell a story, but the story is actually also being told by the author of whoever writes this book, a book. And these are simply supporting graphics. And this is not even supporting graphics because the reality is this is just a portfolio for editors to get a handle on my style, whatever that is. And that's what's really changed over the past 2 years. Is I feel my style has changed over the past 2 years. And with that change in style, I want the portfolio to reflect that. Let's skip the conversation. Now I'm gonna put a colored dot on here, but this can all be digitally changed too. I have done entire books, well, like this Temple Grandin that I had spoke of, The Outdoor Scientist. That was done completely digitally. But this is going to be a great base for a children's book portfolio image. And I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to keep it real simple. Keep it real simple. We can always build on ideas. Okay, the beauty of updating an illustration portfolio is I'm not doing a project. I'm just showing people who would like to do projects with me my current style. So what I'm really getting at is we are under zero pressure here, people. And the pressure I used to put on myself back in the day was horrific. I would do work people would see it and say, oh, I like your style, now let's do a project together. And somehow, some way, I would turn that into a nightmare of stress and trying to come up with an all new style, a whole new way to work. And that's not what, if someone asks you to work with them, it's because they like what you're doing currently. So right now, I just have to lean into the style that has been honed and refined over through TikTok, doing a lot of TikTok videos, and leave it at that and not try to write the next great American graphic novel. Although I'd like to do that too, you know. I'm obsessed and enthralled with graphic novels. However, all the graphic novels that I have written to date have been utter garbage. That's not me beating myself up. That's me stepping back saying, hey, I need to hone my craft a little bit more. I need to slow down and see what works and what doesn't work. Once again, even though I can change this stuff digitally, I don't want to if I don't have to. You know, I want to still try to hone in for the truth here of whatever's going on. Fallen! Let's see, because I want to see what color sits nice, sits well with this. Purple. Purple would sit well with this. Oh, see, you're not going to get that stuff digitally. That is awesome. I didn't even see that happening. And I am not dissing AI at all. But I mean, how would you possibly say to AI and randomly have drips that organically hold together? Maybe you can, I don't know. Ah, coffee. Coffee's my new lover. My old friend. Once again, I'm embracing this children's book illustration rewrite or update portfolio by simply looking at it from the standpoint of if I were the author and I'm the author, I want beautiful illustrations, but hey, I want my words to do a lot of the singing too. That's the beauty of children's book illustration, I feel, is that it, maybe I should turn the rock and roll down a little bit just to have it. That's the beauty of children's books, is that it's two parts. It's the, I'll try this here. It's the children, oh, that drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. If you've read a children's book lately, a picture book, you'll know that the beauty is the art and the words working together. That's what I think. That's why Dr. Seuss was so powerful. Of a successful, he connected with people. They connected with the words and the images. They were zany and fun and fantastical. That said, we grew up in adults and we're like, screw the pictures. We just want the words, which I get. That's cool too. That lets your imagination flow and fly. But I'm not gonna make a stance on what's right or wrong. Neither are right or wrong. I'm just trying to redo a children's book portfolio illustration on my end that gives the spatial freedom for the words to be as, if not hopefully more powerful than the images, or work together like a team. I always think of a soccer team. You have a goalie, and then you have I don't know what the person up front, are they called strikers? The kicker, ball, and the goal person. You got to have both. You got to have both, my friends. The kicker and the ball goal person. You heard it here first. Cruising in the days of youth, I hardly knew my... I love this. Now see, here's the beauty. I have no idea where I'm going to go next. I have no new images in my mind, but when we get to the paper, we're going to find a new image. So this might be a great time while I'm dialing this one in to talk about, people do ask, like, how do I get an agent? And I will tell you, I'll just tell you the steps I went through to get an agent. I started going to children's book, it's called the Society of Children's Books Writers and Illustrators. I started going to those conventions or retreats and stuff and getaways. And this guy said one time, he's like, stop trying to get an agent. He said, 6 months, hone your craft, then submit. Then go back, stop trying to get an agent, hone your craft, then submit. And that worked for me. I just honed the craft. Okay, for this next one, I was thinking how humans, kids, all of us, we're all kind of pack animals, you know? We love community, relationships, and I don't see my new style as being a style that necessarily has a lot of realism in the sense of, oh, these kids will always be standing in classrooms with a lot of, background, not fodder, because I don't want to call another illustrator's work fodder, but background detail. Keep it simple, and the way you learn, let me stop talking to you, I'll speak from mine. The way I learn is just do it and see what resonates and stimulates my inner child or whatever. And what I'm seeing right here is curiosity. There's just this energy, this curiosity. Sure, an editor may say, I may get no work from this new work. I don't care. I absolutely don't care. This to me is, I'm just putting the energy into it and feeling it. And right now, man, this one's great. I was gonna say, I could see an editor saying, I want more. I want teeth and smiles and expression. But baby, this speaks volumes right here. I don't need to put a mouth on it to know that they're getting to know each other and trying to figure out life. Boom, my work is done here. So on this one, I went back and I did want to point out that I added a leaf. I felt like it needed a little more visual tension, something to move the story, whatever the story is, forward. Oh, I did say that I would take little breaks and talk about the children's book illustration world and having an agent. And one thing about having an agent, I think there's this myth that you get an agent and they're just like, you quit your full-time job and they're just sending like huge, awesome projects to you, and you're on the Tonight Show and all that stuff, and you're the next Dr. Seuss. Probably not. Maybe. I hope so for you. I really hope so for you. For me, it was more the realization that the agent is just the gatekeeper to publishers and editors that you don't have. So it was still always my responsibility to create the awesomest work. Work that, like as Steve Martin says, make your work so awesome that they can't ignore you. But I couldn't, and I didn't. Like I said, I got a couple jobs, and I'll show you some illustrations in this book in a second. But that's why I'm redoing this portfolio, because I want to say to my agent, look, Emily, I love our relationship, and I want to do my part. It's like, maybe I'm not the cleanest around the house, and it's my professional version of maybe picking up after myself, maybe even running the dishwasher or running the vacuum cleaner is, hey, she's just the gatekeeper to the work I'm doing. I got to do the work. So that's why I'm here today doing the work. Let me see if I can find one in here that I just absolutely I love them all. Let's see if this shows up. Here's how to make a kite. So this is what I did. Whoops, over here. I did these illustrations, and they wanted to typeset them, and I was just the contract was just to do the illustrations. I don't know if it'll get blurry. Let's see how close I can get in there. Let's get right in there. Yeah, that's cool. But I said, what if we hand lettered all of the instructions? And I showed them a sample sheet, and they're like, go for it. We're not going to pay you anymore. And I'm like, that's okay. My dad always said, if you're going to do a job, my dad always said that if you're going to do a job, do it right. So that's where that stood. Animals. Okay, so I've been really digging doing animals lately, and I do not feel as if I've mastered this animal, but that's exactly why I am going to... Now this might put editors in a tizzy because there is no way that this is going to be even remotely correct in the sense of it's an octopus, and I'm probably only going to give her 3 arms. But does it have to be an octopus? I mean, it doesn't have to be an octopus. It can be whatever you want it to be. That's where I differ, I guess, in a lot of areas in life, is my brother used to say, he used to pronounce it Philadelphia instead of Philadelphia, and that used to get me so worked up. And I told him, you're saying it wrong, dude. And he's like, I'm saying it how I say it, and that is the reality of how it is being said. So you cannot tell me that I am saying it wrong when it is being said exactly as I am saying it. Which kind of made sense. I get it. If everyone in the world chooses to say Philadelphia, but he chooses to say Philadelphia, that doesn't mean he's wrong. It just means he's choosing to not agree with the masses. Ooh, I like that. Let me focus on this because I'm loving it. Once again, I do strive for relationship in art. Even if I don't know, I'm not going to go further than that. I'm just going to say that I definitely strive to create some kind of relationship. Visual relationship, some tension or whatever. Okay. I like it. I do like doing dots. People are like, what do the dots mean? I don't know. But I feel like the dots matter somehow, in some way. You know you're excited about work when you can't wait to edit the video. I feel like we got a lot going on here. Good stuff getting captured. We're going to make a little fishy up here gray. Okay. Now this one, I feel this is where editing's gonna be key. And when I say editing, I'm not talking video editing, but this one will get digitally edited and laid out in a format that that works for the image. You know what? Hold on a second, let me cough. Excuse me. You know, it blows my mind is that first one we started with was so epically simple. I've had some pretty simple ones. I want to get back to keeping them as simple as possible, but we'll call this one a wrap. Octopus and no we won't, no we won't, no we won't, no we won't. When you know, you know. I think I feel like once again this is just a signpost for an editor to look at who Kenton Hoppus is and what Kenton Hoppus is doing. This is not me trying to get in the Louvre. That's the fancy museum, right, in Paris? Don't ask me these things, people. Don't ask me. There you go. I feel like this is a little bit more balanced. Okay. Oh, what else? What else can I tell you about children's book illustration, or if you want to be an author, connecting with community? One, like I said, Society for Children's Books, Writers, Illustrators, Squibby is awesome. That's a definite must, I think. But the second is just don't look for agents right away. Look for work that you connect with. Like if I loved Mo Willems, and so Mo Willems was represented by Wernick and Pratt. So in a last-ditch effort, literally one of the last submissions I made, I didn't even submit written work. I'm like, here's I'm an illustrator, here's my stuff. And they had a new agent taking on new clients. And so we made a connection there. So find work that you love and find out who represents them. Then see if they're even open to accepting submissions. Don't do what I did. Don't try to submit to places that says submissions are closed. So, you know, just have fun with it too. Have fun with it. Speaking of having fun, let's do this next one. Try to tell a story, try to get a little bit weirder than I've gotten so far. So much of, I feel, illustration is composition, scale, and relationship. Relationship in sense of size and placement. I like to put the nasal cavity in there before the eyes. Not always. Sometimes I'll do an eye first. Okay, so this one I can live with. Oh my word. That last one made me want to throw up. People are like, you don't make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I just don't post them all the time. So maybe I'll post a little bit of that other mistake. I'm loving it, man. I see this and I say, there's a story there. I don't know what the story is. Maybe one day I'll get the chops to put words on paper and tell a story. Oh, I write them down. But it's kind of like this video, a lot of just rambling. Oh my word, this is adorable. No, I'm not giving you the right or the permission to take these illustrations and create your own story. Let's go through the agent. Just too thin. Collapsing spiral starts the end. I like to keep it simple, but I still think the skull needs some lines. So I pause for reflection. Sometimes you don't know until you just do it. See if this works. Yeah, that works. Okay, so a children's book portfolio online is going to consist of 12 or 9 to 15 images. I'm going to shoot for 12, but I'm only doing 6 today during this session because, well, I'm kind of running out. Like, as high as I got there for a second, I'm starting to come down a little bit, so maybe I just need more coffee. I don't know. But 6 is enough for this video. We'll do the other 6 later. Give me a chance to edit a shorter video too. It won't be as long. Oh, so I don't want to just letter. Oh my word, you know what I should do? Yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see if this works here. Silence sets me free. Try not to cause a commotion. It's supposed to be a cow in a minute. Hold on a sec. There we go. Now we're getting a little bit more cowy-like. And I'll show you where I'm going to go with this in a second. Because it's not just a cow. It's a cow with some corn standing on top. Let's see if I want to do corn or a tomato or a chicken. I kind of want to do the chicken. I don't think my corn has a lot of personality. My chicken definitely has some personality. Well, I think it does. I say this stuff and it may be total bunk. Right into the night. No, I don't. Someone asked me what the dots are all about one time, and I don't know. You tell me. So this is all about lettering. This I will digitize certain letters. I'm not digitize certain letters. Color certain letters digitally after the fact. Just because. How about I just leave it at that? Just because. So I got I got super into lettering when I was in New York, JKL, when we had a basement. It's wintertime, it's cold. So I set up a paint station down there and I just started studying the art of sign painting. And I was fascinated by it. I would work all day, come home, spend time with the family, and then when everyone went to bed, I would go downstairs and just paint letters, OPQ, for hours. And then just throw the paper away. I mean, it's just on paper and glass, RST. Yes, I do have to. I don't mess it up. UVW. Although there's hope for you if you're looking to get an agent. I had typos in my the first email to the first email I sent to an agent that I wound up going with, and so that says something right there. If you can have a typo in your, if you have a typo in your what, I don't even remember what they call them, query. See, I didn't even know it was called a query, but that's what letters to an agent for representation are. They're called queries. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Don't pretend to be. And then this one, I feel like I'll color this later because I want it to, I know black runs a little cleaner than the other colors. And I may even get rid of that heart. I don't know, we'll see. And someone said, you know, I said earlier, someone said, what's with the dots? I don't know, it just, is it okay if it just looks good? If it just looks good, go with that, go with that, go with that. 3 go with that, 4 go with that. So, okay. Okay, once again, thanks for watching this video, and wow, if you made it this far, good job, I appreciate it.